Roen!
Hi, Aimee.
Hi, this is really cool. This is the first time I'm talking to you.
Yes, it is. We just had a few
Do you,
Twitter conversations, DMs, but this is
yeah?
the first time. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't actually interacted with you much. I haven't seen too much of your content aside from what I've seen in Devin's videos. And it's interesting because most of the people I seem to be connecting with are through him. I just want to make everybody aware I'm wearing bunny ears. You see these? For the
Yeah,
special occasion,
I
Roen.
like them.
I was like, he will think it's cool.
I will. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Self-expression.
Yeah. So tell me about your day. How was your day today?
It's very good. Very good. Editing videos. Uploaded 2 videos. So that's all I've been doing, really.
Yeah.
Chatting
Is that your
with
full-time
people.
gig?
That's all I do, really. Just YouTube. Just being healthy, I've been jumping on my trampoline. That's what I do for health these days. Got a mini trampoline. Have you ever heard of those? A Cellicizer? You do jump
Yeah,
on
the
them,
little ones, yes.
and they're good for your lymph. So I've been doing that and drinking a lot of hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Roen, you know the hot chocolate is full of sugar, right?
Oh no, I make my own hot chocolate and I use vegetable glycerin, which is it does not affect your blood sugar. So it's someone even on a ketogenic diet could use it. So no blood sugar effect. It does not give you diabetes. So it's not sugars. I know, I'm aware of that. Sugar is very bad.
I was gonna start being like, sugar is really bad for this whole eternal life thing, right?
Yeah. Sugar is very degenerate. So nobody should eat sugar.
Hey, sugar is only degenerate in degenerate amounts, just like everything else, Roen. You have to live your life a little.
Some things are degenerate at all, even in any amount, I think.
Oh, really? Yes. let's get into the degeneracy because you're talking to an A-class degenerate right now. So let's pick each other's brains.
All right. Let's what's the most degenerate? Okay, well, also the most degenerate the thing I think is degenerate, even in small amounts. I will stick to this. I've said it before. Me and Devin have talked about this. Butt sex. I just think
I'm down with the sometimes butt sex, my friend.
I think it's
explain it to me. Is it just because you have like an icky feel about it?
No, it's not that. It is for health reasons. So it is
but elaborate on that, Roen.
Okay, yeah, STDs. So butt sex is by far the most dangerous form of sex. And even if you're wearing a condom, Devin Tracy said this. Okay, look, condoms are not a foolproof thing. They can break. You can literally, it's not made for that. Like the anus is not designed to be penetrated like that. It's abnormal. I would consider it degenerate and just should never be done under any circumstances. There's just no reason for it also.
Yeah, but human beings enjoy it. That's a good enough reason. And it's not always a negative thing. I mean, if you're going to have multiple partners, sure, there's a risk of STDs and stuff, but you're not going to completely bypass having sexual experiences for that reason, I hope, because
just that one particular sexual experience. I mean, there's other ones.
Okay, let's do another one because I didn't really get to say anything. So I'm just curious because like you can do it after a shower. Like it doesn't have to be disgusting, I guess. Like I don't really know.
But you can't.
For you, it's just gross.
Well, you can't perfectly clean your insides. I mean, if you do an enema or.
But that's anything then, Roen. Like there's obviously bacteria living on your skin and stuff right now.
Yeah. But the bacteria in the colon is particularly dangerous to be put in the bloodstream. Okay, so like when there's penetration, skin could be tearing, and you could have literally the bacteria in the colon can get into the bloodstream, and that is my main concern. That's my main concern, and that's where AIDS gets spreads and all kinds of STDs that we might not even be aware of. Like we might not know how to test for them, and you're getting into you're opening up a huge can of worms with butt sex. Trust me.
Okay, well, why don't we? Okay, so we're naming degenerate things. Okay, so we disagree on the butt sex thing. That's fine. What's next? Okay, what else is degenerate to you?
Oh my gosh, promiscuous. But people having multiple sex partners. I think that is unnecessary, and that is degenerate.
Okay, but how is it degenerate? It's human nature, right? Like we don't control our biological impulses. Those are all mechanical facets of being a biological organism.
Yeah, it is human nature. So yeah, I get that. But like, why go away? Yeah, but why go with human nature? Why not try to, aspire for the ideal that is not go above our human nature and do what's best, like monogamy. This
Yeah,
is better. It's safer. It's also, I think, psychologically healthier because
I don't think it is psychologically healthier, though.
Really? How?
It really depends on the person, right? I mean, everybody needs and wants a different level of sex.
Mm-hmm.
And they just act out in accordance with that desire within them. Mm-hmm. So, right?
Well, it's certainly more dangerous, physically speaking, because you can get more STDs.
Roen, right? Breathing is dangerous. Okay, every day you wake up and you start that. Oh, I'm awake. Like every breath you take, you're getting closer to death. That's just how it is. Anything you do is going to be dangerous. You can't stay safe all the time. I mean, you could take every possible measure to be safe, and something could still happen.
Yeah, but that's why you just do your best. You do your best, and if you don't have to be promiscuous, if you don't have to do butt sex, then why do it? That's my main argument. Is like, why not be better safe than sorry? If you can avoid these dangerous things, if your goal is to live forever, certainly makes sense too.
Okay, but it's not a dangerous thing if you're say like in a long-term relationship and you're with someone and it's just the next step you're going to take sexually. It doesn't have to be such a big deal.
Oh, butt sex?
Yeah. Well, general. Back to butt sex with you. I'm starting to think that you want the butt sex and you're just in denial of the butt.
No, what were you talking about when you said the next stage? I was they said the next stage of the relationship. Did you mean polyamory, like having new partners, or did you mean butt sex?
No. Human beings aren't actually naturally monogamous, and we know this because of how the male reproductive system works. Okay, so I'm curious to know, like, so is this just for yourself, or do you really think that everybody should be less degenerate and do these things less?
Well, it's certainly for myself, but I try to push my message in order to help people. Like I want to see the best for people, and I want to, I understand people want to be degenerate and they want to just indulge in their hedonism and everything, but I'm trying to like raise the bar, raise the bar for people and say, hey, look, there's a better way to go. You can do what's going to increase your chances of living forever, as opposed to just indulging in your every hedonistic desire.
Right. But here's the other thing, though. Here's the other side of the coin, okay? None at all isn't necessarily psychologically healthy either.
And no sex at all?
Yeah, that's not psychologically healthy once you get to a certain point in your hormonal cycles and stuff. It's actually a healthy thing to have sex.
I agree. No, I agree with that. I agree.
Okay.
No disagreement there.
Yeah, and were you also like not fapping for a while? What's that about?
Oh, the no fap. The no fap. Yeah.
Like, how do you not kill people, Roen?
No.
How are you so nice?
The no fapping thing is very important to me because I think it's better for my longevity and my eternal life is to not.
I want to know how.
Okay, it's a wasted energy. So it's when you're fapping and when you're expelling all that semen and everything, that could be a lot of wasted vitality that your body is having to release, and that could be. I think there's a lot of nutrients in there, and there's a lot of
vitality doesn't work like compound interest. You know what I mean? It doesn't sit and gain energy. It's actually like this. This is what's weird, right? Is because you're saying it's good for your vitality. It's actually better to fap and keep everything going. It's much healthier. So.
Maybe for some people, like it seems to work for Devin. My gosh, his brain works really good. And
Devin has a healthy. I think Devin has a very healthy sexual attitude.
Yeah. So I think personally speaking, I think I might be more prone to have gotten into this no fap thing because when I fap, literally, it destroys my brain. It destroys my cognitive abilities. Like I'm dumb. My IQ.
But just for a little bit later, right?
No.
A little while later.
A lot of guys will say it's just for a little bit later. For me, it's literally days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, up to a week. I feel drained. I feel my brain sucks. I feel like I cannot speak as well. I'm like retarded.
Why does it do that to you?
I'm kind of retarded normally. So imagine me being like 10 times extra retarded. It's just worse. You know what I mean?
Do you have like any kind of ADD or anything like that?
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Have you ever spoken to someone?
Yes. What do you mean? I've done lots of interviews.
No, I mean, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, do you feel anxious? Do you feel any kind of something? Or you feel totally normal?
I feel just a normal, probably what's normal amount of social anxiety. I don't think it's extra for me. I think I'm normal. You know, everyone feels a little bit of an anxiety when talking to people. I feel pretty normal. You know, in school, I had friends. I was social. I'm not like autistic, I don't think.
I didn't think you were autistic.
So, oh yeah. So yeah, for me, the cognitive thing is the reason I don't FAP. Like literally, I feel like my IQ lowers like 10 points.
That's not how it fucking works, Roen.
No, but I feel really dumb after ejaculating. I just feel awful. Like
so
really.
what other kinds of things do you do then? Okay, you don't FAP. You're not having sex right now. You don't have a girlfriend? Oh no, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, you're just busy with this whole eternal life thing. Are you ever like I'm just okay? So I'm sure you're aware that science has not come. Oh, I dropped something. Sorry. I'm sure you're aware right now that science has not come to a point where there's any kind of age reversing happening to a substantial degree, right? Okay. Yeah. So my question for you is like, how long, because you're still going to keep aging until this is discovered, right?
Yeah. Unless I discover it. See, here's what I'm thinking. I might do something just randomly, like with the weird things I'm doing with my diet and lifestyle, that I might stumble upon the cure for aging, and it's not even going to be known until like I'm like 50 and like, oh wow, I'm still 30 looking. You know, I might stumble across it without even like science verifying that I've stumbled across it. I might just accidentally do it. You know, that's what I'm hoping for.
But you're hoping for, like, you're taking such a gamble with your life because you're like, you don't feel like in any way that you're cheating yourself out of life experiences that could actually enrich your life as a human being, that we know enrich our lives as human beings. I wonder and I worry because I don't want you to do that.
Well, only a few things. Right now, it would only be like, I could be just a promiscuous person if I wanted to, and that I would have.
No, it doesn't even need to be promiscuous, dear. You go at your own pace, but just say like.
Well, I would want to be in a relationship if that's what you're talking about, but it takes a lot to find the right person, and I'm not. I don't want to.
You don't want to try anything casual at all, like even just like a friend situation.
Well, a friend situation would have to evolve into a marriage situation for me. I don't want to do anything casual. I don't want to like have sex with someone and then the relationship fails and then it was all just a waste.
But dude, not every relationship is a winner. That's the problem. That's what's scary. That's why trial and error is a necessary component to experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess I want my first relationship to be a winner. I want it to succeed on the first try.
Okay. I totally get that. We all want that, Roen. Trust me. We'd still be with the first person we loved if it was like that. Yeah. But if it doesn't happen like that, how do you deal?
I would be devastated. I would hate to essentially waste my virginity on someone that I'm not going to be with forever. Like I literally want to be with the person forever. That is truly romantic, in my opinion, and that is truly the ideal that I want to aspire for.
Okay, but if the other person doesn't share that ideal forever, and they're just like, I just want to see how it goes, which is what dating.
I wouldn't consider being with them. But honestly, that would immediately they would fail my vetting process if that was their attitude.
So you're totally okay being alone for a really long time, then?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I'm looking for someone with the right kind of attitude who is compatible with me in that way. We're both in it for the long term.
Right. But compatibility is built over time, Roen. You're not just going to meet someone and be instantly compatible. You're going to do this dance. You might be a little bit different to each other at first, and as the months pass and you get to know each other, you're going to start finding shit about each other you don't fucking like, and then you got to figure out if it's worth compromising and being with them to continue, because sometimes the bad outweighs the good, but only time reveals that. So
I agree with that. Everything.
I just don't want you to have an unrealistic idea. You know what I mean?
No, that's totally true. And I don't expect to find some perfect person, but there are some things that are basically factors that would disqualify someone. Like if they go in initially into the relationship thinking it's going to be a temporary thing, that is a disqualifying factor to me.
Okay.
Some things that I wouldn't budge on. I would just need certain things, and then I don't expect them to be perfect. They're going to have flaws or whatever, and I would be willing to work with them. I have flaws. No one's perfect, but I want to be with someone forever, you know? And I would want to vet them and think, is this person actually going to be in it for the long term, or are they going to like want to break it off eventually for whatever, you know? Like that's important.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing with the future and shit. You can't predict it because 5 years down the road, some shit might happen. And
true. And if it turns out that I did get with
like you're super positive, and I love it. Like I'm not trying to shit on you or anything. Like
if it turns out that I did end up losing my virginity with someone, and then we get into a relationship, and then they break it off with me and divorce me, I would consider that my own fault because I didn't vet them good enough.
What if
wasn't able to foresee that kind of outcome?
No, but that's like,
you know,
sometimes shit just doesn't work out, Ron.
Well, it should if both people kind of have a mutual understanding of where they're going.
Dude, have you ever dealt with people? I'm sure you have. We're not easy to deal with each other when we get in those close quarters.
That's why I need to have an extremely strict, like kind of like probably a long period of time where it would be this vetting process where we'd have this intimate conversations about details of what's the plan here? You know, like, are we in this to forever? Are we going to try to help each other live forever? Those kind of things. That's what's important to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your relationship life?
Oh, my relationship life is interesting.
None of it's interesting?
No, I said I guess you could say it's interesting. There might be a gentleman in my sights, but that's all I'm going to say for now.
How many relationships have you had?
My first one was 7 years. My second one was 4. I had an in-between friends with benefits thing for like 9 months. And then I dated someone for about a year and a month or so, and that ended just early this year. Honestly, like I thought me and my first boyfriend were going to get married and be together forever. And we moved in together and it didn't quite work out. But I learned the most lessons about relationships from that one probably, and the 4-year one. Because when you're in a long-term situation, like now that I've pulled back from the situation and I've been able to look at it from an outside perspective, like, you know, you start to figure out how shit started declining. And it's when things get habitual, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I understand the romance behind the forever shit.
Yeah, and I like that you went into your first relationship thinking that that's how it'd be. See, that was your ideal.
But it was stupid, Roen, because that's not how life works.
But it's not stupid if you can get it right, and I think it can be done. It's hard.
I'm sure
most hard things in life take a lot of work, like living forever, like finding that ideal partner. It does take a lot of work. And
but let me tell you something, Roen. The problem is that we have a finite, like our cognitive resources are finite. You know, like when you start dealing with a job and a relationship, and then house shit and bills and everything, like things change a little bit. It does take a lot of effort, and you may be willing to put in that kind of effort, but you never know about the other person, right? And it sucks because in the beginning, it always seems like both people are going to put in that effort, and then it just slips over time. And then, you know, it gets really difficult to continue something when you don't have the energy for it. Yeah. And it's really hard to say that. It's really hard to guarantee yourself that you always will. I mean, you know, I'm not like pessimistic. I'm a long-term relationship kind of girl myself, and I prefer that. I prefer the long-term thing too. But, you know,
have you had any casual one-night stands?
I've never had a one-night stand.
Good for you. Good for you.
Why? I've always wanted to have one just for the experience, but it has happened like naturally.
Oh no! Is that still your attitude? Like, if a one-night stand, if the opportunity came around to have a one-night stand, would you do it?
See, no, I don't think I would. I mean, it has to be like some crazy situation. you
See,
know, but I don't think so. But I'm just not built like that.
that's awesome. See, and I don't think anyone really is. I mean, maybe someone could argue, oh, maybe
No,
guys
come
are built
on.
that way or
Listen to
something.
me. Your
I'm not built
sexual
that way.
desire, listen to me, Ron. That's fine. If you're not built that way, that's fine. But it sucks when you call it degenerate because people don't choose the way that they're built and they don't choose their hormonal levels and they don't choose how much they want to fuck someone, however they want to fuck them. They just want to. Like, can you explain why you like things? It's really hard. Like, why is whatever your favorite color, why?
Yeah, it's weird. You're right. You can't, and some people, you're right. Hormonal levels are different, right? So it's much harder for some people to be kind of chaste than others. Some people just are because they have so much testosterone or whatever. They're driven to be promiscuous just by their own genetics, and so it's not quite fair, is it?
No, that's what I mean. That's because when you say degenerate, you put a negative connotation on it already, right?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stigmatize these things.
Why? Don't stigmatize sex. That's a human experience that makes everybody but you happy. You're the weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to stigmatize these things for the same reason I want to stigmatize someone being fat. I think we need fat shaming, and in the same way, we need sluttiness shaming for not only girls, but guys too. I think we need to raise the bar for everyone, really.
We need to raise the bar when it comes to having sex in a smart way. We don't need to lower the amount of people fuck. We just need people to not have babies out of wedlock and be on the pill and use condoms. That's what we need.
Can't we at least shame people for being in casual one-night stands? I mean, isn't that kind of so...
No. Roen, have you ever been in a situation where like you end up alone with somebody and they just look at you and you look at them and you're like, holy crap, my primal instincts are taking over. I'm going to fuck this person now. And it just happens in the heat of the moment. You know how many people like things like that happen to?
And they need to resist those urges.
No, why? That's fucking fun, Roen.
They need to save that stuff for virtual reality in the future when we can do all that stuff in the safety of a virtual environment. What?
Oh, yeah, that's so boring. Come on.
Eternal life is more important than hedonistic pleasures like that.
Okay, let me talk to me about what you're doing to increase your lifespan or work towards eternal life. I want to hear it.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to talk to you about health actually too, because you seem to be a fitness person. You know, you're into fitness and health, and you're mentioning to me about how much you love to drink water. First, let me ask you, what are you doing for your health?
Well, let me tell you. Okay, I'm a calorie counter. I do not eat sugar, and when I do, I have it on specific cheat days. So I try to do it once a week. Once a week is like the goal. I would like to do it once a week because I don't like getting into those situations where I like don't have it for a long time and then binge. So once a week, like a meal or like a meal and a dessert kind of thing. But I eat mainly vegetables. I bake my chicken. I have like extra lean ground beef if I do. Unfortunately, like I know a lot of people are like, ew, meat. Yeah, I definitely still eat meat. Like it's just my easiest access and source for protein.
You might need it. I mean, it's possible that I don't believe this one size fits all diet. Like vegans are trying to push everyone needs to be vegan. Like, because you might need it for some reason. Like your own biology is different than the next person, right?
Can I tell you something? I just really like the taste of chicken, so I eat it.
Do you try to at least get chicken that's like without hormones and like free range?
Oh yeah,
chicken?
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent. And you're on the right track with caloric restriction, like monitoring your calories, because that's going to age you very fast, is overeating calories. And that's one of the biggest things you can do for your longevity is caloric restriction. If you do any research in anti-aging, they always say, oh, restrict calories for longevity.
Less is more.
Yes, exactly.
But see, I'm like also trying to build muscle. So I'm actually supposed to be eating a lot more than I do. And I just can't fit it all unless I'm going to smoke a whole bunch of marijuana and order a pizza, which doesn't happen very often. There's another one of those degenerate things I do. Are you against?
I'm not against pizza. In fact, I mean,
not pizza, pot, marijuana.
Oh, pot. Well, you seem to have a good reason to increase your appetite. As far as pot, I don't do it personally, but I think I do take extracts of hemp for longevity.
Okay.
There's a CBD oil extract that I
Yeah.
take. It's non-hallucinogenic. I'm not interested in the hallucinogenic aspects and like
Mhm.
fogging my mind. My mind's already fogged enough as it is. I want to be fully conscious and aware, and but I don't think I think it's much better than smoking, like,
Oh
smoking
yeah.
tobacco and all that crap.
So it's really weird how it works for me because I actually smoke and do things. So I smoke and I work out. I smoke and I run my errands. I smoke and I work or I read. Like you've noticed I have a lot of energy, right? So
Yeah.
what it does is like I'm here, right? And everybody else is here. So it brings me down to about here. So I'm not super fucking annoying all the time. Because
I'm the opposite. I'm like really low and I need things to bring me up. Like when I was drinking coffee, like I feel so much better when I drink coffee. I can't drink coffee anymore. That's one of the things I'm doing for my longevity. It's bad for me. But I can drink hot chocolate, and that brings me like half the level to where coffee would bring me. So it's helping me a little bit, right, with my speeding me up, making my cognitive abilities better, but it's not as good as coffee. It's good.
Yeah, it does the job.
It helps me. Actually, I should be drinking hot chocolate right now. Look, this is all chocolate. My thermos
look at you.
of hot chocolate. Yeah.
Rowan, are you and I the same age? How old are you?
Excuse me. I am 30, just turned 30.
Did you? Oh, so you're a little older than me.
Got some hot chocolate in
Rowan, are you okay?
Wouldn't that be crazy if I just choked right here and died live? Eternal Life fan dies from drinking hot chocolate.
Oh my God, Rowan.
Look at that. That's my niece right there.
Oh, that was great. Do you know there's a actually I just saw that in the chat. Thanks, Mark. There's a place called Death by Chocolate, and he just made a really funny joke about that. So props to you, Mark, because you're fucking funny. That would have, I'm so sorry to say this, but like I would have first been like, oh my God, I can't believe he died talking about eternal life. And then I would be like, oh.
Yeah.
So where are you? What is this setup behind you? Tell me about it. Are you at
the Eternal Life fan club headquarters? Cost me $500,000 here. We're running the operation out of this place. No, just kidding. It's just the library.
Holy crap.
Did I get you? Did you believe me?
Yeah, because I'm a little bit I can be gullible when I'm high on the pot.
You're high right now?
Yes.
Oh, you
can't tell?
No, you've seen like fully cognitive, fully conscious.
That's what I'm telling you. It doesn't do to me what it does to most people. It's very strange. I find it very helpful. Like there are some days where my brain just won't shut up. You know what I mean? Like I just need it to stop so I can actually get shit done. I try not to smoke before work, but I mean, sometimes I do, and I just get shit done. It takes my focus, which is like all over the place, and it goes shh, and then I can spend time and focus on things. It makes it easier for me.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're in like the prime of your health right now, very young and attractive. Would you be afraid of getting old and losing all your beauty and becoming decrepit? Do you have that fear of aging?
I don't. You know, it's weird. Like everybody, like the people around me who I hang out with when they have their birthdays, they're like, oh, I can't believe I've won one more year. And I don't feel like that. I mean, I take really good care of myself, and I try really hard to just do whatever I need to do to like be healthy, you know. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm sure are going to happen to me that I can't control just because of, you know, shit in my genes or whatever. But I do know that there's choices I can make about what I put into my body, which ultimately is what helps your body output. And I feel better every year. Like, I don't feel like I'm getting older. I feel better now than I did when I was like 16 or 17. Wow. And I think it's because I'm healthy, but I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to get old. I think that, you know, like the way that I see it is we're super lucky to have any time as human beings at all. And I just want to enjoy it and, you know, take it how it comes and learn things and whatever. When I fucking die, I fucking die. But as long as I'm not regretting most of it, I'm good.
Okay.
You know?
Now, here's another aspect of this question. Now, if we had the ability to make you stay young at your current age right now, indefinitely, you could just stay the age you are right now indefinitely, would you take a pill or whatever that would allow that? Would you want to stay young?
I know that should be really easy, but I don't know, living forever, doesn't that just like suck the value out of it?
Well, here's the thing. You're not immortal, so you can still die from accidents. Okay. You can still kill yourself, but you just would stop aging. You're like a vampire.
Oh, if I was just stop aging, fuck yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great. But then like things wouldn't tick forward, would they? That's what's really weird. Is like, how do you keep like cell regeneration? You wouldn't even call it regeneration. How do you keep it at stasis? I guess that would be how they crack the code, is they have to keep your body in like a homeostatic state where it's like producing at the levels it is now, but
yeah, it's a trick. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I'm not the scientist. I don't know how they're gonna do this, but at least you want it. You have that desire to stay young. Maybe you don't. Why don't you fear getting old? I mean, haven't you seen like how awful it is? I mean, yes, you're healthy, you're doing things to stay young, but look, when you're like 80 years old, chances are you're going to be really decrepit. You might get some horrible disease. Doesn't that?
Can I tell you a secret?
Scared at all about getting Alzheimer's disease or any of these numbers of age-related diseases?
Here's the thing: is I honestly wouldn't mind if I reach like a life up to like 60 or something, and I'm still healthy. Like as soon as I start feeling pain and stuff, assisted suicide better be a thing because I'm out. Go. Because there's a point where you're like, this is going to sound awful, but like there's a point where you're pretty much useless and just taking up space. And I don't want to be that person, right? I'll let other people take the space. If I'm in pain and there's nothing that can be done about it, I don't want to have to pop pills all the time. Like, you know, you're popping pills. Sure, you don't feel pain anymore, but you're fucking your liver. You're fucking other parts of your body. There's always a cost to making one thing better. There's always a cost, no matter.
Yeah, but what if like the next day, let's say you had committed euthanasia, but the next day they come out with the cure for your illness, and then you're screwed now because you're dead. Wouldn't you want to stay alive as long? I'd want to stay alive as long as possible, regardless of how much I'm suffering in the old folks' home or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because maybe they're going to cure whatever I have in the future. Like, we never know when that's going to happen.
How long, you know? Like,
Nobody knows.
That's fine, though. You may not know, but I'm still going to live my life, and I'm still going to, you know, do me. And I'm sure along the way I'll get some injuries and some fucking knee problems and whatever. I'll do it till I'm gassed out. But, I mean, I don't need to be around when I'm fucking 80 years old and, like, in pain and not moving unless there's something that has stopped me from having 80-year-old symptoms.
Mm-hmm. Did you fear death as a child? Like when you first learned about death, was your reaction different than it is now? And the reason I ask that is because a lot of times when people first react to death, it's way worse. They're more terrified of death. And then they kind of get all these coping mechanisms on how to deal with death. And they, you know, Eckhart Tolle and Deepak Chopra, they're telling them, oh, you don't need to fear death and all this stuff. Like, how was your reaction to death as a child compared to how it is now?
I don't think I really understood death until I was about, like, I think I was 13 or 14. My mom's older brother had a heart attack in a parking lot, and it was like 3 days before my birthday. And I don't think I'd ever experienced anybody who'd actually died that was close. So I never really understood the concept, but I cried, and then I went to the house, and he was gone, and it was just like, okay, whatever. And I've never had a belief in God, really. So that really, like, I wouldn't say I ever feared it, even for myself, really. It's just not something that was ever on my mind. And even now that it is in the forefront of my mind, it's just a part of life. Like, what's to fear? You're going to go and you're going to go, right? You can't just sit here and be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die one day.
Doesn't it bother you, though? Don't you just sit awake at night thinking, crap, ceasing
I
to
think?
exist. Isn't that sucky and never getting to have fun ever again? Just
Yeah,
eternal
but
fun.
Rowan, like, where were you before you were born? Do you remember what that was like?
No, but so
Okay.
what? I'm alive now. I know what it's like to be alive. It would suck to lose it all.
Yeah, but there's a key component in that equation, and that is fucking consciousness, right? And if you don't have a brain to produce that consciousness, then it doesn't matter. You're not gonna know, as far as science tells us.
True.
All you
You would
fucking
not
you don't
know.
knows.
You would not know, but it's still the idea. Like Christopher Hitchens has this idea that you'll be missing out on the party, and the party's still going on, but you're not going to be there. It's just that idea of being dead while other people are freaking having fun, and you're just dead. You're just like you're rotting in a cemetery, literally.
But you're saying this as a living being right now. That's the thing. Once you're dead, it doesn't fucking matter, Rowan. Like,
But there's a reason we don't kill ourselves. It's because the idea of ceasing to exist is awful.
Yeah, it's also because the instinct within us to survive is very strong. That's what organisms are built to do: survive, exploit their environment for as long as they can until they fucking die. Like, that's just how shit works, man. That's nature. Things like there's cycles to these things, you know what I mean? And like human beings, we're running on a clock. Everything in the fucking universe is running on a clock.
True. Entropy. It's like that. Ugh.
Exactly.
That's awful. Our biological clock is ticking and we're running out of time.
That's what I'm telling you. You have to do your eternal life thing, but you got to live life, Rowan. Don't just whatever you do. Yeah.
I'm trying to live it, but safely as possible. I do enjoy my life.
You're not going to have fun if you're always safe.
I have fun. People always think I don't have fun. I do have fun.
I'm not saying you don't. You aren't having fun.
I'm having fun right now. This is very fun talking with you.
Thanks. It's fun talking to you too.
Okay, so
you're fun.
So you've been an atheist pretty much your whole life, like Devin Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually realize that there was a label for it until just a few years ago, though.
Really?
I'm really new to the atheist scene. I think it was like 2012 or something, like 5 years ago. I think I first got introduced to Dawkins on YouTube for some reason. And then I just went down this rabbit hole and I found Harris and Hitchens and Dennett and fucking Lawrence Krauss and all these people. Name drop Lawrence Krauss!
So you like Lawrence Krauss that much?
No, I was just making a joke because of Joe Live Life. Do you know what's happening
okay.
with that now? We've been making a lot of fun of him.
Lawrence Krauss, he got freaking judged by Devin. I love that. I love when Devin judges all these like people. Like now he's judging Sam Harris, and he judged Jordan Peterson. Now he's really judging the elite intellectuals. Freaking love that, don't you?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's not necessarily judging; it's just pointing out a flaw in the thinking that was occurring, right?
That's what judging is.
Which is super necessary.
That's what judging is.
I suppose so. I guess everything is judging.
I think it's good. I'm into judgmental people. Are you judgmental?
I'm super judgmental. You know why? You know why? Because I'm really self-critical. So you know what? If I'm gonna judge myself that hard, I'm gonna fucking judge the rest of you that hard, because that's what having standards is.
Exactly.
Right? Like, duh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most perfectionistic people who are most into their own self-improvement are also the most judgmental outwardly, and they're judging other people because we have standards for ourselves and others. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's important. Oh yeah, so back to what else I'm doing to like make my life longer or whatever I'm doing. I work out like 4 to 6 days a week. That's the goal. I try. If I miss days, it's usually like 3, which super sucks, but I try and go a lot. A lot, mate.
What kind of workouts? Jogging?
I do my first half an hour of my workout is cardio. So I'll pick either running on the treadmill, running on the elliptical, or using have you ever seen the crazy new Stairmasters that dispense stairs, Rowan? They're fucking crazy.
Dispense stairs?
Yeah, it's like a treadmill, but instead of just a flat belt, it's stairs that are rotating. It's like
a mini escalator.
Yeah, it's like an infinite escalator.
That's going faster.
Yeah, and you can like adjust the levels for half an hour, or the bike, and then an hour to 90 minutes of weights on top of that. And I usually pick a muscle group per day.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you do while you're exercising? Do you listen to music or watch?
Oh yeah,
watch
I listen
videos?
to music. Sometimes I'm on Discord. Oh man, Ron, I'm so addicted to this Discord server. But yeah, sometimes mostly I'm listening to music, And it's usually a mix of stuff. Yeah.
What kind of music do you like?
I like everything. So let's see. What does Aimee listen to at the gym? I'm third personing myself. That's really not cool. Don't ever do that. I hate when people do that, and I just did it.
I do that all the time, I think.
Oh, I gotta stop. It's really
I do it in my
douchey.
video titles because, you know, people might be searching for my name or Eternal Life fan, so I think I do it.
Okay, but that's different. I'm
Yeah.
talking about in speech.
Yeah, I usually don't do it in speech.
Okay, so I have shit on here that's like EDM. Okay, Artie. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
I listen to Frank Sinatra in here. I have a few rock bands in here. I have Kiera, Rihanna, Bryson Tiller, Linkin Park, Major Lazer, B.I.G., a lot of old rap.
Uh-huh.
See, the other thing is, like, during summertime, I like a lot of old rap. So, like, NWA and Ice Cube and that kind of shit. Dre, Snoop Dogg, whatever. And then, like, in the wintertime, I listen to more classical instrumental stuff or EDM stuff. Like, it's weird. Different seasons and different times of the year, I like different shit. And for different activities, I like different shit. I'm just...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, like, I can go from jazz to classical to, like, movie soundtrack to really heavy rock. Maybe the occasional metal, maybe, you know, like all over the place. Whatever.
See, variety, being all over the place with music is good. Variety is the spice of life with music, but not with sexual partners.
No, it is with sexual partners too.
No.
Yes, Roen.
All right, so back on our degeneracy thing, what would you say is the most degenerate? Because you described yourself as degenerate. You're a self-described degenerate person. So what's the most degenerate thing you do?
Degenerate by your standards. I already told you that I enjoy the occasional butt sex.
Okay.
And I actually thought you were going to have a more adverse reaction to my smoking pot, but that's good you didn't. That's kind of nice. What else do I do? I drink a lot of water, Roen. Do you drink a lot of water?
I do drink a lot of water.
Good.
Okay, speaking of water, do you make sure you avoid water with fluoride?
No,
Like,
fluoride is good for your teeth, Roen.
Oh, no. You need to be red pilled on fluoride. It's very bad for you.
No, you are not red pilling me in that red Neo outfit, sir.
Yes, I'm red pilling you on fluoride. Okay, so fluoride.
Oh my God, Roen.
Fluoride contributes to the calcification and the hardening of your arteries and your pineal gland in your brain. And so you're more likely to get heart disease, and it'll, you know, your pineal gland, they call it your third eye, and it's not good. You don't want to get fluoride. It's toxic. It's poison. Research it.
Yeah, but the thing is they wouldn't put more amounts than were necessary in the water, Roen.
You know what they did? The Nazis would put fluoride in the...
Are you calling the government Nazis right now?
A lot of the Nazis after World War II came over into our government. They're in high places. And the Nazis put fluoride in the water in the concentration camps to make the Jews very docile. That's what they would do.
Roen, are you in Germany right now?
No, but
is this the 1930s?
Sometimes the government can appear to be very, very Nazi-like, the way they try to control our lives in a lot of ways. I wish the government wasn't so big. I want like a smaller government, like libertarian.
Yeah, you're libertarian style? Pretty
much. I don't like the government getting too just control freaks, controlling every little thing, like making pot illegal, for instance. What the heck?
Yeah. I mean, that's silly.
Ridiculous.
I agree. And you're talking about pot smoker here.
Yeah. And I've never smoked pot in my life, but I support people's right to freaking do it.
You don't want to? You're not curious? Are you even curious sexually? What's happening in your brain, Roen?
Yes, I'm curious sexually, but I'm willing to wait. I'm patient.
Okay.
You know, patience is key for eternal life. You know, can't rush into things.
Patience also helps you bypass some really fun shit that you could be doing.
True.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. I win.
Well, you're
listen to the bunny.
You're prioritizing fun, in temporary fun, as opposed to eternal outcomes of eternal
No,
life.
honey, it's called a balance, Roen. Okay, I don't go out and party all the time. I'm busting my ass trying to take care of myself and be healthy. But you know what? My body will recover better when I do fucking party. Because when I party, I'm gonna go really hard and I'm gonna have a lot of fucking fun. And then I don't do it for like 3 or 4 months, you know, or 2 months, or whatever the fuck it is. Like.
But who's gonna have more fun in the end? See, if I live forever.
Me!
No. But if you're fun.
I've been having fun all along. You are waiting and you don't even know. You think that you're just going to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, because of all these things I've been doing in my life, I figured out the fucking cure for aging. I mean, like, what the hell? I don't want you to do that. That's what I'm trying to get you out of. Like, do your eternal life thing, but have fun.
Yeah, but like, let's say you're having fun, you're doing all these things, but the fun you're having is so dangerous that it causes you to get AIDS. And then,
oh my God, dude, you're not gonna just get AIDS.
You can get AIDS. Yes, you can.
You have brain AIDS right now.
But if I live forever, I'll be having the most fun possible.
Yeah,
I'll get more fun.
If they can catch you at an age where they, like, if they could only take you back a certain amount of time or something, and you're like 70 and you still haven't found the eternal life cure, and they're like, oh, we can only take you back 5 years. That's the best we can do. Then you're going to be trying to party while you're like 65, you know, like.
Well, you can party. You can, at that point, you know, we'll probably have virtual reality. I can plug into a virtual reality machine and experience life like the Matrix.
Okay, so explain this to me. What do you find fun in life then? Like, what is your idea of fun right now?
I really do like talking to people and exploring philosophy. That really, truly is fun for me. I like watching movies. Love movies. Movies been a big, they played a big role in developing my philosophy. A lot of movies, I've kind of integrated the philosophy I've seen in the movies into my own life and stuff.
Are you talking about Disney movies, Roen?
Yes, exactly. Freaking Tinkerbell.
That's the fucking problem, Roen.
Watch the new Tinkerbell animated series. That's what I'm talking about.
I love you.
Disney fairies. Watch that. There's so much deep philosophy in those movies. Not even joking.
You're like Jordan B. Peterson because he does that shit. He like digs deep into Disney movies and tries to analyze that shit. Are you the new Jordan B. Peterson? Don't read too much into that shit. Oh, Disney has ruined adults, Roen. I love Disney as much as the next guy, okay? But Disney has really fucked up people's ideas of relationships and how shit's supposed to work.
No, that's true. Like, they're really pushing a lot of degeneracy, I think, on the world.
No, it's the opposite.
No.
I'm gonna smack you, Roen.
Disney is promoting all kinds of, they have, you know, you've seen these, like, videos on YouTube where it shows that Disney's like trying to sexualize young kids, like by putting all these secret sexual messages in their videos. You seen that?
I don't know if that's true. I have seen it. I don't know
like
if it's actually true.
The cover of the Lion King album. I mean, the cover of the Lion King like DVD. It's got the it's like a butt. It's like a freaking butt.
Have you ever taken the time to consider, sir, that maybe people just like butts because they're nice?
Yes. Well, but
do you think you need listen, do you think that you need a subliminal picture on a Disney cover to make boys or girls like butts? Do you know that butts are actually an indication of like of certain parts of your genes that your like subconscious is reading for?
Yeah, I agree with
you know
all
that?
Yeah, of course. We're attracted to butts, but why are they pushing it on children? Like, why are they intentionally trying to like sexualize children?
Is that even true, though?
It's totally true. And in the movie Aladdin, there was Robin Williams. At one point, he said, all good teenagers take off their clothes. Okay? And that's in the actual movie. They never removed that. They hadn't have known that's in there. And in the movie Lion King, when one of the lions...
Are you taking that out of context?
No, that's a secret message. Robin Williams, he whispered it into the microphone, like all good teenagers take off their clothes.
Oh my God, this is so a lie, Roen. Come on.
No, it's totally true. I'm not joking. And in the movie Lion King, when Mufasa or whatever, one of the lions, maybe Simba, he rolls in the dust and the dust spells out the word sex.
Did you actually see this for yourself?
I saw it myself, I swear.
Are you really going to make me watch these movies so I can prove you wrong?
It's totally true. It's
Fine,
totally true.
Rowan. I'm going to do it now.
Okay,
I'm going to watch the movies.
The cover of the movie Tangled, you know the movie Tangled with Rapunzel?
Rowan, listen to me. You need to have sex, okay?
It spells out sex. It's freaking
you
spells
need
out
to have
sex.
sex. You are looking for these things and finding them because you need to have sex. Your brain is trying to tell you something.
All in good time. All in good time.
You're a good sport. I really like you. You're cool.
You're cool. What are your life goals?
So what else?
What are your life goals? What's your main
you know
goal?
What? This is really crazy. I think I've recently come to the conclusion that I'm going to have to work my ass off really hard for a really long time before I can start having some real fun because I had a really rough childhood and teenage life. So I am definitely feeling the brunt of that now because I was kind of thrown into being an adult and I was really fucking bad at it when I was 14 or 15. So I've slowly been trying to habits to where I could, maybe travel around a bit someday because that's what I would like to do.
I don't want to pry, but what kind of rough stuff did you experience at such a young age?
Oh, I got kicked out of my house when I was 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
I had abusive parents. I had an alcoholic father, and I just had to kind of figure shit out on my own. There was a lot of abuse and dark shit in my childhood, so
it's good you were able to come out of that.
Yeah, lucky. I think I'm very lucky.
A lot of people can't, and they just self-destruct, and
they do. And let me tell you, I've been at many points where that's exactly what I wanted to do. I just wanted to give up, and I was self-destructing, and I was doing it to myself by making really shitty decisions in life. So I changed my life one day by deciding that I need to take care of myself and not eat like shit and not give a fuck and I would just go through bouts of depression where I didn't even want to go to work and I would just fucking call in sick. It was awful. But I picked up. I put up. I shut everybody up. And ta-da, here I am. So now I'm just building my life and trying to figure shit out.
So you're the result of self-improvement right there.
Yeah.
So you used to eat really unhealthy. Were you ever overweight?
I was a fatty.
Really?
I still need to dig pictures out for people because they don't believe me. But yeah, I need to dig out those pictures. Yeah, I used to be chubby and, fat. I would definitely say fat. And I used to be really miserable and I used to be very whiny and woe is me. Why is my life so bad? Oh, it sucks. And I started it all starts when you start hanging out with yourself, spending time with yourself. You realize all this fucked up shit about yourself and I've been lucky. Evolution is the goal, right? You want to keep getting better. Life's going to keep throwing shit at you.
Yes. The goal is to be
Life doesn't get better. Life doesn't get better. You do. Or you get fucked, mate. That's how it goes.
Were you fat shamed?
Yeah, by my mother for years and years. You know what? Somebody asked me today if I had body dysphoria, and sometimes I really think that I do. I really think that I do because there were just so many years where my mom would just constantly tell me I was fat. You're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. I've had 3 kids, right, man? She'd say all this shit to me, and even sometimes now I'm oh my God, I feel so fat. And everyone's you look so great. And I'm okay. It's really weird. And it only happens sometimes. I'm slowly getting better from it, but man, that shit fucks you up. But maybe some fat shaming was definitely necessary because it definitely helped push me in the right direction.
Heck yeah. Fat shaming.
Yeah. I mean, there's a way to do it, right?
Yeah, you gotta be nice.
I say don't promote the body positivity shit. Like, oh, that's the fucking worst, man. Like, oh my God, you can be fat. It's totally okay. No, it's not. Like, it's not even attractive. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Fat is unhealthy. It's not good for eternal life, Roen.
It's very bad. Very bad for eternal life. So let's say, I was asking you this before, but I kind of sidetracked you, but would you want eternal life? Let's say not just anti-aging, but actually like literally
to live forever?
Would you want that? And why or why not?
Oh man, depending on when you get me, sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no, because I'm like, oh, do I really want to live forever? And like, because I would outlive humanity, right? We're assuming that not everybody gets to be immortal.
Yeah,
just a
that's
select
right.
Few.
Let's say you and like, I don't know, 200 of your best friends. Forever.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. If that was a circumstance, yes. Right. See, the thing is, like, it's like I would live forever if there were other conditions present. Like I was stopped at a certain age, like fucking, in Twilight. Remember Edward? Like they just stayed 17 or whatever. Like if I could stay 30 forever, fine, sure. But like if I don't want to be like 800 years old. That's like biblical shit.
Yeah. Do you think living forever is possible? Do you think it's possible? Or do you think I'm just totally just like in crazy zone here? Like, is this actually possible?
Do you want an honest answer or do you want my honest answer?
Yes, I want your honest answer.
Certainly not in our lifetime. If you could find a way to not make, the thing is things tick forward, right? Everything ticks forward. So it's hard to like, could a body even run if there wasn't some sort of like getting rid of things and whatever? Because I mean, as your body's creating things, it's also destroying things, right? Like skin cells are dying daily, your cells are regenerated and all that shit. Like there's a reason those things need to regenerate, right? So I don't know. I really don't think it'll happen in our lifetime. Like you'd have to find a way to stop DNA from replicating, because what is happening during the aging process is when your cells split, there are these little things at the end of the DNA called telomeres. You know what telomeres are?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like the end of shoelaces, right?
That's why I stopped drinking. That's why part of the reason I stopped drinking coffee is because coffee has been proven to shorten your telomeres. It's going to cause aging and all this kind of crap. So
yeah, but that's stepping out into the air and your body simply having to filter through all that air. It does the same, right? Like that's what I mean. Oxygen, breathing,
eating, all this sort of thing kills us slowly.
Just creating waste, which we do all day around the clock, and I'm not just talking about number one, number two. I mean like your skin, everything, right? There's waste being created in all sorts of ways, like. It's crazy. I don't.
Problem. We're gonna have to. I mean, it's a very complicated problem, and I don't mean to sound too overconfident. I'm very scared that it's a very hard problem to solve, and that's why I'm trying to like make more people talk about it. Because I'm thinking if enough people are talking about it, maybe we could develop the kind of awareness, and people are going to donate to the scientists. Because there's a bunch of scientists that are working on this, and I'm just hoping I can be alive at the point in the future when we can cure aging. That's my greatest hope. So
yeah,
I'm hoping.
But do you know what I'm going to keep trying to drill into your brain, Roen, is that until they find it, you're still aging. So don't lose sight of that. You have to enjoy yourself. I know you're having fun. Oh yeah, I was asking you what else do you do for fun? Like what do you do for fun? You talk to people?
I judge people.
Yeah. Is that fun for you?
It is so fun. I love making videos where I judge. Freaking love to judge people. It is. I get a sense of just absolute exhilaration from the act of judging someone and publicly shaming them and like.
So you're an asshole.
I think I'm doing it out of a loving place because I want to make an example out of them so other people can kind of see, wow, this person's stupid. I don't want to be like them. I don't want to make these same sort of stupid arguments, and I want to just kind of.
So you want to societally lynch people for everybody to see?
Yes, and that's
why.
Whoa,
are you saying you're in favor of lynching?
No, I'm just talking about shaming people.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. I'm just.
So let's talk about judgment. You're a very judgmental person. Who do you like to judge? Who would use, if you could judge anyone right now, top 3 people, or who would you judge, or what kind of category of person would you like to judge?
People who make paintings with period blood.
Good one.
I'm judging you. You dirty cunts. That's disgusting. I'm so like, I think people are at a point where they understand that women go through this monthly thing, which, by the way, I recently labeled Shark Week. That's what we call period week now, Shark Week. Okay. My friend came up with that joke. But anyways, like, we understand that these things happen. Why does it need to be pushed? I don't get why it needs to be, like, pushed out into people's faces. Like, look, I made a painting with my period. Like, that. And you need to dispose of that and light it on fire in a place far away, because the smell is going to be so disgusting. And it's waste for a reason. You know what I mean?
It's very distasteful, low class.
Yes. And like, can't you just, I don't know. I feel like it's so unfeminine. Like, I'm really feminine, and I don't need to tell everybody that it's Shark Week. Some people will just know because they know me and they know I get really like mellow and tired and stuff, and they're like, oh, it's that week. And sometimes I'll just be like, it's Shark Week, guys. I'm not in the mood. Like, talk to you later, whatever. But sorry about that. But I don't think it's a necessary thing to be like, hey, look, I'm so comfortable with my period that I paint with it. Look at my painting. Like.
Yeah, a lot of these feminists seem to be attacking traditional feminine things and feminine qualities, and they're just kind of like making themselves look all masculine and weird, and it's
attacking men for being men. Like, I really hate that, because I like manly alpha type dudes, and if you're gonna try and take that away from me, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
I don't like that shit.
Who else would you judge?
Well, aside from feminists.
Any specific people?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've had a lot to say about Lena Dunham. I don't like fucking Fisty Splinters.
Who's that?
Christy Winters or some shit.
Oh.
Robust feminist arguments, that chick.
I think I might know who you mean.
I judge really beta dudes. I hate beta dudes, like fucking Kevin Logan, Steve Shives, like all the people Devin makes fun of.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're so gross. Like, oh man, it's really weird. I have such a viscerally negative reaction to dudes like that. Like, weakness. I don't like it. I've had to overcome some shit. I'm like a tiny little girl. If I could fucking do it and you're such a bitch, like I can't. You can't sit with us. Yeah. What about you? Tell me your favorite kind of person to judge.
Oh, I tend to focus more on just evil, like really big evil, like that's people like. Are
you gonna say the Illuminati or some crazy shit?
No. But definitely people who are pushing for mass immigration. I hate the destruction of European culture and what's going on in Europe, and how whoever's responsible for that, whatever people are responsible for this pushing of mass immigration and letting all these refugees in, like Angela Merkel. If I could judge someone, I would judge Angela Merkel. Like, what the heck? That kind of despicable person. Yuck.
I get it. Like, oh man, I wish there could be like just a women and children only thing, but it's really, I have a really real moral dilemma with this, because like, I mean, I definitely want to help people and stuff. I don't want innocent people who could be helpful to die, but at the same time, it's like you have to filter through so many fuckheads, and like, it just seems dangerous to in such a large number, you're totally fucking up the homeostasis of that country, number one. Number two is these people hold values that are antithetical to our values that have, you know, been a huge component of the success of the countries that they've become. So honestly, like if I had to give an honest answer, like I don't even know. Obviously, none of us know how to deal with the problem, but I mean, would I say close them off completely or totally open the borders? I don't know. Like, how do you even vet people for their ideas?
Exactly. I mean, I'm just like better safe than sorry type of person. I would just close the borders and like, regardless of how mean that looks, I just think it's like, it's too important to just save and protect the westernized culture, the European culture. Like, so some people probably see that as pretty harsh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in the world, it's been the most successful so far. And like Western culture has brought us prosperity, you know, like we have fucking doctors, we have running toilets, running water. Like we have so many things on a daily basis that we take for granted. You know what I mean? Like we got that shit because people worked hard and this is where we're at now. But like, I mean, it's because we all share core values, and like when you have people who don't share those values, like how are they going to be a productive member of society to keep it running? I don't feel they are.
And the thing is, they're not even, you were talking on one of your streams, and I totally agree with that. It's like most of these people aren't even willing to assimilate and like adopt the Western values, and they don't care. Like they want to hold on to their own traditions, their own everything, and they don't want to change.
Yeah.
You know? So they're kind of barbaric and primitive.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a higher cost to being too empathetic. And I know that sounds, I guess I'm kind of like an asshole because I don't, you don't lock your doors because you hate everybody outside. You lock your doors because you love everybody inside, right? And it sounds awful though, because I know there's people who need help, but it's like, shouldn't we like give a shit about people dying in the streets and stuff? Like it would be different if we were addressing the problem. I would have much less of an issue if the problems were actually being addressed as they're occurring at face value, but they're not, you know, like there's just so much bullshit propagated by the media about these things. And it really fucking sucks when you like hear on like New Year's Eve, a bunch of girls got molested and shit in Cologne. Like that could have been me.
Yep. The freaking
you know, that's fucking really uncomfortable. That's a really fucking uncomfortable situation to be in. And like these poor girls were like on TV crying and stuff because they're so violated and shit. Like, fuck, man. Like that I really feel for those girls. That sucks. And like to be told like, oh yeah, you just need to like watch how you dress and shit. We have to put up with this, you know, like this is just the values that these people have fucking grown up with. Hell no. Are you serious? This is not okay. Yeah. This is fucked up. This is compassion and empathy gone amok. Like too much of those things can fucking be bad. Sometimes you got to make tough calls, and you know, like
pathological altruism right there. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
It's to their own destruction. And like since letting all these refugees in, Sweden now is like the rape capital of the Western world, right? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
It's insane. The amount of rape and crime, and it's despicable. It's really freaking awful.
And it's really weird that like, it's really weird the reality denial that happens. You know what I mean? In that specific area, like it's really crazy how we don't want to make connections to things that are clearly fucking connected. Yeah, we agree on this topic. I'm still a little bit unsure about, you know, like of if I was in charge, would I let them in or not let them in? I have a hard time, but I don't know, Roen. It's hard, and it actually makes me uncomfortable inside that I'm not on a side for this one. I honestly, most of me, 75% of me says fuck no. Like now's not the time. We gotta figure shit out. Like problems are piling on to our individual nations that need to be dealt with, and we're just like, nah, bring more. We want more. Give us more problems. I want all the problems. Come on, give it to me.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not it's like we're hitting on the gas and we're about to run out of road to drive on, and it's just like, oh fuck. I mean, it doesn't affect my everyday life, right? That's obviously how I'm just like, whatever, it's all good. But when I really sit and think about these things, they they weigh on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking awful.
Yeah. What were we talking about? What was the question you asked
Oh,
me?
we were talking about people we would want to judge.
Oh, right.
You want to throw out another group of people? I love talking about judgment. Who else would you judge?
You like talking about judgment?
A huge list.
No, you know what? Not really. Oh my God. Some people on the internet, I'm fucking judging you bitches. You fucking losers who tweet at me all fucking day when I have you muted and I don't even know that you're talking to me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I better check this person's page because I'm pretty sure they blocked me. Nope. Just I muted them a few weeks ago because they never stop, but they never shut the fuck up. And it's like they always just gotta, you know, when you say something to someone and they just go, no, you.
Yep.
You know, like, fuck that, man. Like, oh, if you're not willing to listen and be an active listener as well as engage in the conversation, like, I can't. I don't take you seriously as a person. I'm judgy about people who can't like have communication in a way that you're actually like exchanging something. Like not even something as complicated as an idea, just like a simple dialogue. You can't even do that with them because they have this wall up, right? Like, yeah. I don't like fakers either, Roen. I hate people who are fake and they're like super like, I get that a lot though, because I am really bubbly naturally and I really love talking to people. So they think I'm dumb and fake, which is totally fine, but
you seem real to me. You know, you don't seem like a people pleaser. So it's like people pleasers. Those are the fake people, right? The people who just say anything just to please, and they don't want to judge anyone, right? Those are the people.
But you know what, though? I'm a people pleaser. No, I love making people happy. It makes me happy to make people happy. I love it. It's like I get a high off that.
But you won't hesitate to be honest and real with them and judge them.
Oh, God, no.
So that's the way I'm saying you're not a people pleaser. So people pleasers who like don't want to offend anyone and they don't want to judge anyone. I think that's probably why we're both drawn to Devin Tracy, because he's so real and judgmental, right? He'll just judge anyone. Like no one's off limits. Now he's judging, you know, he judged me.
No one is off limits for him. You know what? Like that.
He judged me. Now he's judging Reese. Now he's judging Sam Harris. Like no one's off limits. He judged all these people.
Yeah. You know what? I had this really weird thought like last week or 2 weeks ago during some stream where he was going on a banning spree. And I was like, you know, I thought to myself, like, if Devin ever banned me, I would never stop watching his videos. I don't give a fuck. Like, that guy has my heart. I fucking love Devin. Like, you can ban me if you want, Devin. You ain't getting rid of me. I'm watching your videos. Hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, he, Devin has done a lot for my brain, I think. And I don't really take the time to think about it, but it's important. It's been a important thing for me. And like, I've hooked up with so many cool, like met so many cool people because of him. You know, I never would have talked to you or known of you if it wasn't for Devin. You know what I mean? Like, where did we have our first interaction? In a Devin chat. Like, he seems to attract really great people. It's because he's pretty fucking awesome. And yeah, like I wouldn't, if he could ban me tomorrow. I don't care. I'm still watching his shit. I still think he's awesome.
He's also going to help us, anyone who wants to live forever, because honestly, he's doing more to like prevent a race war than I see anyone else. Like he's totally right on all the race issues. And like I see like a race war and all this racial hostility. I see that as being very a dangerous thing for people who want to live forever. Clearly. And he's like trying to say, look, don't be a freaking racist, and just like kind of racial unity, that type of message. And I'm all for that. Yeah.
It's really sad, actually, how people just fucking call him a racist because they don't like his tone. I mean, you don't fucking agree with him. You seem to be just fine. Like, I don't understand how people are listening to him. It's so fucking weird, you know?
Yeah, people called me a racist when I first started promoting him just because I was promoting him. They're like, by association, this kind of weird crap.
Yeah, people are fucked. They're actually not individualistic. It's really weird. I think the thing that I've noticed, is, especially about the people who have been attracted by him, is that we're all pretty like we're all kind of individualists, even though we're part of a group. We're still kind of like, I don't identify with the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I still have me. Everybody still has themselves. They're not like, okay, maybe not. I'm definitely kind of culty because I fucking really like the whole ordeal. So maybe I'm just putting my foot in my mouth right now.
Okay, well, is there anything like, what would be the thing, if anything, where you would disagree with Devin? I'm curious about that.
Oh, I don't want to talk about this.
Talk about it. Come on, tell me. Where would you disagree?
I think.
Otherwise, I'm going to think you're just a brainwashed cult follower. There's got to be somewhere you disagree.
I think Devin and I definitely disagree on the whole drug issue. I think that, you know what? More recently, this is really changing, but like, I'm really beginning to dislike Jordan Peterson. Like, I do like his psychological work, but even that's beginning to lose a little bit of heat for me because of just like how fucking effective his ridiculing is. I mean,
well, that's not a disagreement. That's an agreement, though.
No, it's kind of a disagreement. It's a partial disagreement, right? Because I still.
Oh, you mean you still kind of like Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, I like his psychological work.
Oh, okay, okay.
Other than that, I really don't think there's anything. Like, I don't think there should be guns, for sure. I don't think citizens need guns. What else is a major issue?
No, I totally disagree with Devin on that. I totally disagree with that. I'm a total like gun. We should have guns. I'm a total gun rights person.
Really?
Amendment all the way, completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, what if the government were to get very tyrannical and big, and how would we defend ourselves against the government if we weren't able to have all these guns and kind of form a militia? And how is a family supposed to protect themselves if the criminals have guns, but they don't have a gun to protect themselves? How can you possibly try to take away guns of law-abiding citizens? I've still yet to hear a good argument against that. If you could inform me, please do so.
Yeah, I just really don't think people should have guns. I mean, based on the how we live now, obviously that's not going to happen, especially in a place like America. But there should definitely be like bullets should be like fucking $500 each. Get your gun, but just raise the price of bullets.
Yeah, but the criminals are going to be the criminals are going to be there like manufacturing their own bullets, and then it's the law-abiding citizens who have to pay $500 for the legal bullets. And really, the criminals there's always going to be a black market for guns, and the criminals are going to have those.
Listen to me, I'm kind of checking the chat, and Roy says eternal life is in favor of tools that end life. Isn't that kind of ironic, Roen?
That is kind of ironic. That is kind of ironic.
Right? Are you gonna rethink your position on guns?
No, it's just, in my opinion, it's for safety. Ultimately, it's like, if for your own eternal life, you better have a weapon to protect yourself against the criminals who are gonna come and get you, right? Steal your stuff. It's like, how are we gonna protect ourselves? You can't rely on the police, because they'll get there like 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later after you call them.
Come on, really? Have you ever called the cops before and had to wait that long?
I've never called the cops for that situation, but...
Well, lucky you then.
No, like seriously, like what if the criminal's already at your doorstep, like breaking into your window, like pointing the gun at your family? Like, you got to have something to defend yourself against these people.
Yeah, but why does it need to be a gun? Okay, I understand where you're coming from, okay?
If you have a bat or a sword, it's not going to work against a gun.
Look, I held a gun once, and it was a very uncomfortable experience for me, so there's definitely some bias there. I really don't think people should have guns, okay? I really don't.
Well, that's why it's for the man of the household to
sure,
have a gun.
maybe with some super strict measures, and like it should not be easy to get a gun. I don't know how to deal with the gun problem, but I really just don't think that they should be a thing.
Yeah, there should definitely be background checks and kind of a mental sanity check, right? You can't just have insane people getting guns. But.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? What else? Is that it? What else do you disagree with Evan on? I really don't think I disagree with him.
It would just be, well, he disagreed with me on the whole virginity thing. You judged me for that.
I agree with him on that, so that's where we disagree. But yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I gave my reasons for that, just being monogamous, waiting for the right person. It's not that I'm, these people, like, look, I'm not against sex. I just want to wait for the right person. And I get it.
Here's a question for you, and I want you to think about this for a minute. Do you think that you tell yourself these things because you haven't had sex yet?
Like a coping mechanism or something, or
yeah, like do you think you're in any way in denial? Do you really not have the impulse to like want to have sex with someone?
No, I do. Absolutely.
Okay. But you just decide you don't want to and you bypass it?
Oh, I absolutely do. I'm not what would you call that? One sexual, there's people who are, they don't have a sexual desire. That's not me. I do have a sexual desire.
Those people are fucked.
What are they called? There's a name for it. Forgot what they're called. Oh well.
Aimee disagrees on circumcision. Hold on, let me address this. I do not disagree on circumcision. I'm for circumcision. I don't know why the fuck you're trying to tell me what I think, you shit. I just said that it's not something that I mean, like, what if you like a guy who doesn't have a cut dick? What are you gonna do? You're gonna turn it away? I mean, if it's big, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, so what else do I mean? What else? Where do I disagree? I think. Well, Trump. I mean, I still like Trump. I still prefer Trump to freaking. I still prefer Trump to freaking Hillary.
Straight up.
Yeah. Well, see, I always thought.
You know why? Because not Trump. Just not Trump.
Yeah, for me, it was like when Hillary said she'd let in 65,000 refugees. I was like, no, she's too close to Angela Merkel, and she's like uplifting Angela Merkel on freaking Twitter, like glorifying her. Like,
Trump. I can't believe you like Trump. I'm actually surprised. I thought you were a Hillary. I thought you were, you know.
Now the back of my hat says "Make America Great Again." Check this out.
Oh God! Oh no! We can't be friends, Roen. What are you doing to me?
Yeah, I'm a Trump guy. What's your biggest criticism of Trump?
You know what's degenerate to me, Roen? People who like Trump.
Okay, well, tell me what's your biggest criticism of Trump?
Oh my God, do you really think that man to any capacity is fit to be in that position? Come on. Just look at the man outside of the presidency and outside of, just look at him and his behavior.
Better than Hillary Clinton and her behavior, in my opinion.
Are you kidding me? Like, look at how they conduct themselves in public. Who is a better role model? I mean, I'm not
Trump.
You have to remember, perception is reality. No, you know what? Because if more people...
Hillary Clinton, you might not even have heard this. Maybe you didn't research Hillary Clinton. But she defended a child rapist and got him off.
I understand this stuff.
And all that stuff.
I get it. But we're talking about somebody in a position who is able to run that position for which Hillary has much experience and Donald does not. I'm not condoning any of the fucked up shit you did, okay? Like, don't get me wrong here. But in this situation, she was the better choice because of the experience. We don't need to argue. I know you're not going to agree with me, but that's just my reasoning. And I'm fucking Canadian, Roen, so, like, doesn't even matter.
Well, it's also like the Trump's policies. He was endorsed by the NRA. He was promising to keep guns, you know, and Hillary Clinton was more about gun control, restricting guns, and that was always a worry. You don't want to, you know, Hillary Clinton was basically threatening to take away the Second Amendment and that kind of thing, and Trump was always more in favor of that kind of thing. So
I hate that orange asshole.
Protecting gun rights, yeah.
He's an asshole, Roen. But I still like you. You're cool, okay?
Oh wait, no. The biggest thing was that Trump wanted Trump's immigration policies. You know, building the wall, that kind of thing. Because
you were down with the wall. Come on now.
Of course, I'm against mass immigration, and
I'm against illegal immigration. Yes. Do we need a wall? I don't think so.
Sure, we do.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, you want to build like a Great Wall of America?
Yes.
The great anti-immigration wall of America.
Trump's a nationalist, so he was like into protecting Western civilization. You know, he was always saying America first, you know, and where Hillary Clinton was like, let's open the borders. Oh, let's let in 65,000 refugees. Some of them might be, you know, radical terrorists. Oh, well, that kind of thing. She was a pathological altruist. That's what Hillary is.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I would call her pathological altruist because of that one issue. But that's not
in terms of her.
I don't want to stick on politics too long because like
Okay.
the election was like a year ago, Roen. Let's talk about, like real human things.
Okay.
Okay, so what else? What was the question again? We were talking about disagreements with Devin. I think we covered that, right?
Yeah, we covered that.
Devin Tweesy, I love you.
I love how you say that. You gotta.
I love it. It's my favorite thing, and every time I go,
it's like a cartoon voice you got. I would imagine that being a cartoon character's voice or something.
Yeah, it's like a baby voice. I don't know what it is, but I just get that like, oh, I love you, that feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you're just like, oh, I love it. Like, it's one of those feelings. And like every time I'm in the stairwell, it echoes. So if I'm going downstairs to vape or whatever, I'm like, oh, Devin Tweesy. And it's like, Devin Tweesy, Devin Tweesy. It's so funny. I love that shit. It just makes me laugh, and it seems to make the boys laugh too. So it's good.
You could be a voice actor for a Nickelodeon show or something.
Oh my god, yeah. I find that sometimes I can have quite an annoying voice. You know what I mean? But this is what I've been doing lately. So there's a few people on the Discord server who are from like the UK, and I have been purposely talking in a British accent, and then what happens is that I will accidentally say a word with a British accent and be like, oh, shit. Like, it's just happening now because I'm just saying things in a certain way repetitively. It's fucked up. It's weird.
That's Devin Tracy's Discord?
Yes. Hey, I missed the day that you were in there.
Oh, yeah. I dropped in there. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys talked about, but do you know who Alf is?
Who?
Alf.
Alf.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He said, tell Roen I love him.
Oh, is he in the chat? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alf. I know the character Alf.
Yeah, that's his actual icon. It's very cute.
Okay.
Hey, you like Tinkerbell, right?
I freaking love Tinkerbell.
Tell me about this obsession of yours.
Okay, well, Tinkerbell is she's got all kinds of great qualities that make her so special. So she's very judgmental, first of all. Her face gets all red, and she's very feisty and angry. And I view it as kind of virtuous anger that I like in people. When they can actually be passionate to get angry about something. So I see that in Tinkerbell. I see that she's always trying to help people, help her little fairy community.
Have you ever fapped to Tinkerbell?
Oh gosh.
Be honest.
I've already admitted this to Devin. So like once or twice, yes, a long time ago, but I have not done it anymore.
I'm not judging you. You fap to whatever you want, sweetheart.
No, I'm not into that anymore because she needs to be protected. She's so pure. And I wouldn't want to
Roen, you are so gay.
I wouldn't want to destroy that symbol of Tinkerbell. I don't want it to be associated with that. I don't want it to be sexualized. She's very, very pure. But she's
but your fapping to her doesn't make her any less pure.
Yeah, but it kind of corrupts the idea, I don't want to.
Oh, I see. It corrupts it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I stopped. It's just like this is too pure. I can't touch this. This is too, So
what do you fap to? Degeneracy?
Well, I don't fap anymore.
What? When was the last time you fapped?
I'm on the no fap movement.
Still?
Actually, I did break it. And that's when I went into that Devin Tracy Discord, like the day after I broke it. But I'm back on it now. So.
It sounds like you're talking about your hymen right now.
It's very important to me.
I feel it is. I totally feel like it's important to you. Don't mind me. I make jokes.
Yeah. It's a bad habit. It's actually the most degenerate thing I'm doing, and I'm trying to break that habit. It's like I'm trying to.
Fapping is the most degenerate thing you're doing, or not fapping?
No, fapping is the most degenerate thing I'm doing, but I'm not doing it anymore. I'm trying to stop this bad habit. It's a very bad habit, and I'm trying to stop completely. It's the next step.
It's a healthy habit, Roen.
Nah.
It's healthy.
No.
You're telling yourself it isn't healthy. You still get the biological impulses. It's good to clean the pipes.
No, they'll clean themselves.
How?
They clean themselves.
How?
A wet dream.
I want the science. Oh, come on. You think that's enough?
That's enough.
All right. Fine.
It's
That's
totally
fine.
enough. And yeah, it's bad. It's a bad habit. And it's the next stage of my evolution to be more practically perfect, to stop this entirely. And I plan on it.
And you don't get like angry or like short-tempered?
No.
No?
If anything, I can channel this energy into more productive outlets. So, you know, you kind of have more energy once you stop, and you can channel this energy into doing whatever you want to. Creative pursuits. I'll be more inspired to make more videos. I'll get more creative, that kind of thing. And if you waste it by, you know, wasting your sexual energy in that way, it all just gets wasted. You know?
Where did you get that idea? I'm so curious.
It's a common idea. It's called like sexual transmutation. So
is this scientific, Roen?
Yeah, they talk about it in the NoFap community and stuff. It's like you can transmute that sexual energy into a different outlet in your life because it's energy, right? And it doesn't need to be wasted and expelled into sexual things. You can use it for something else to succeed in some other area of your life. So it's very good for people who are trying to self-improve to just stop masturbating, stop fapping. It's very not good. Should not be doing it.
I have a healthy fap life, so it's very hard for me to meet you in the middle.
It might be different for girls. It might be different for girls.
No,
I don't know.
It's people in general.
But I think for guys in particular, it's probably more draining. For you, it might give you energy. I don't know. For me, it drains me, and I'm.
Yeah, you said you get dumb or something, right?
I totally get dumb. So
that's so crazy. So explain what that's like. So you can't finish sentences properly, like.
Yeah, I stutter more. I cannot. I'm less articulate. You know, Devin Tracy, his mind is like on a different level. He can articulate things so creatively and use metaphors.
He jerks off, Roen. I'm bugging you.
Well, maybe it's different for him. I don't know. He's like this magical entity with his brain, but with me, I am like retarded. You know, I can't talk to people. I'm more like socially weird, and I lose my confidence. Something weird happens.
You lose your confidence, really?
I lose confidence. I'm less socially outgoing.
Were you religious, Roen? Like, did you grow up religious? Like,
yeah.
What was it, like Catholic, Mormon, what?
I grew up Christian.
Oh shit! So what was that like at home? Like, I'm assuming.
Going to Sunday school, you know, reading the Bible daily, and just studying the Bible, and that influenced my life. That probably got me more into living forever and the idea of eternal life, because that's a big idea in, you know, Christianity, eternal life. And now, you know, I love the idea of going to heaven and everything, but now it's scary because now it's like, oh gosh, I don't believe in that anymore. So now it's like I need to find an alternative to heaven.
So you're trying to replace it with like a hope for a scientific breakthrough in this area?
Exactly. Living forever physically. Like, instead of the heaven afterlife, now I'm into creating a heaven on earth, just never dying, because the afterlife is all wishful thinking.
Yeah. And okay, so you're 30 now. How did you break free from that? What did it? What's your story?
I feel like I was always agnostic, because when they first in the church, they would ask you, oh, you know, say a prayer and, you know, accept Jesus into your heart. And they say, okay, once you do that, you're going to go to heaven. But for me, I said the prayer and I still never felt sure that I was saved and I was going to go to heaven. And I was always like, well, how do I know that worked? And I said the prayer, and, you know, I raised my hand. They said, okay, if you said the prayer and accept Jesus into your heart, raise your hand now. And I did that, and I'm like, well, how do I know that worked? I'm like, how do I even know that I actually believe? What if I'm just fooling myself because I wanted to go to heaven? And so I pretended like I'm believing now just because I wanted the reward of heaven. And so I was always kind of agnostic from the very beginning. I don't think I ever was sure that there was a God. So I was like, I was hoping, but very afraid. And I was always afraid of death from a very young age, even when I was a Christian. Because I'm like, how do I know?
But
Like,
you're
what if
still afraid of death, right?
I'm even more afraid of death now because I don't even
Why are
believe
you
in
even
heaven.
more afraid?
Well, because now I don't believe in heaven.
So you're actually like really, oh wow.
So now, as an atheist, I'm much more terrified of death because I don't even believe in heaven. So I think, crap, you die and you cease to exist. It's much more terrifying, you know? But I still have certain elements of Christianity in my brain, like the
You don't
possible
say, Rowan.
the focus on eternal life, but also like the fear of God. Not that I believe in God, because I don't believe in God, but I still am open to the possibility. So I'm still agnostic. So I'm thinking, well, maybe there's a God. Hypothetically, nobody knows for sure. So I try to be an extra good person just in case there is a God. You know.
Shouldn't you want to be an extra good person just to be an extra good person, like for its own right?
Yes, I should be.
Yeah. So is the God thing just like something that you're still kind of clinging to?
Well, the God thing is something I would hope is true, but I don't think it's true.
Why do you hope it's true?
It'd be much better if there was a God, because then if you pass the test or whatever, you get to go to heaven, according to that whole theory.
Dude, God's such an asshole.
Well, if there was a God, no one would know if he's an asshole or not. No one would know how this God is, right? It would all just be a hypothesis, right? Wouldn't it? Because nobody would know. You're talking about you're talking about your own interpretation of the Christian God. But who's to say that the Christian God is the actual God? Right?
Well, I mean, there's a general idea of what a God is, and you're talking about heaven, and you said you hope there was a God. So what is your idea of God? If one were to exist, what does your idea consist of?
Okay, so if my hypothetical version of God, if there was a God, I would think God would. I mean, actually, it's just a hope, really. It's just a guess. Like maybe God would. It's really wishful thinking. It's only based on wishful thinking. Like if there was a God, maybe God would reward those people who are the best people and give them eternal life, right? And nobody would know the rules. Like if God had a set standard of rules that you had to obey in order to get into heaven, nobody would know those rules. So it would be your own guess, and you'd hope that maybe you're good enough and maybe God would save you. It's like, it's very flimsy. It's based on really wishful thinking.
Yeah, so I wonder why you would want to have the hope at all if it's like that. See what happened right there is like that cognitive dissonance. You're like, I'm an atheist, but I have this hope that a God's real. Why do you need the hope at all?
Well, why wouldn't you hope for that?
Oh my God, really? I have no idea. I guess I must have really made my peace with that.
If there's a God, then that would be that means there would be a heaven or something, or at least some kind of maybe a way of getting eternal life that involves a divine savior. That would be better than no savior, right? Having a hypothetical God that would save you from death and give you eternal life, that's better than having no hypothetical God, right?
I mean, it's kind of like having a false hope, isn't it? It just fulfills something that you're missing and you're not willing to fill with actual thinking.
Well,
and
it's a
evaluation of what you value in life, where that shouldn't matter. You know what I mean? What always should matter is the present moment. Like I'm really trying to understand this, because I've never grown up with a God, really, and I never really, the idea never struck me. I went through a lot of shit, right? So I was like, oh, like fucking didn't help me, you know? So it's very weird for me to even think. And the other thing is, Rowan, is I'm a really big science nerd. Like I wanted to be a nurse, you know? I had to learn about biology. I had to learn about things. And when you learn about how things work and how cells work, and like how things work in a cyclical and clockwork kind of way, and it's all machinery, like it's very difficult to even find room for any of that kind of hopey or wishful thinking.
So would you describe yourself as a Gnostic atheist or an agnostic atheist? Are you
I'm just an atheist, man. That's it.
But no. You have to be one or the other. And I'll explain the difference. No, you have to be. And a Gnostic means you're claiming to be sure that there is no God. an agnostic atheist would say that they don't believe in God, but they're not sure. So they're
But that's
open
just an atheist, because of course no one can say with 100% certainty that there is or is no God.
No. But the agnostic part is whether or not you claim to be sure. So some atheists will claim to be sure. Not many, but some will claim to be sure that there is no God. Most atheists are like myself and you, which we don't.
I can claim to be sure until there's evidence. Sure, I can do that.
Wait, so right now you're making the claim that you are 100% sure that there is no God.
Yeah, until the evidence is given, right? So
okay, so then you would, according to that, what you just said, you're claiming to be 100% sure that there is no God. Then according to that, you would be a Gnostic atheist. You're making the claim that there is no God as if that is a
all
fact.
these labels, Roen. It's just atheist, okay? Just
No.
atheist. You know why it's not Gnostic or whatever the fuck you want to call it? Because it's just a lack of belief in a deity or a God.
No,
I mean, it's just a scientific way that if there is evidence for God, then obviously I would have to change my beliefs in accordance to the information that was found. But until then, you know what? I'll just make it easy then. Yeah, until it's proven I'm 100% sure there's no God.
Okay, so you're claiming to be 100% sure there is no God.
Okay.
So you're different than most atheists. For instance, most
but I'm
atheists,
open to evidence, so that's why I don't really understand the whole need.
I know, but according to the information that most atheists have, they would claim not to be 100% sure that there is no God. So they would say they are an agnostic atheist, and they would say, I'm not 100% sure. They would say, I don't believe in God, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's possible. Devin would be.
I'm open to evidence, but I think I'm going to stick to there's no fucking God. So
you're okay.
Hardlining it.
How do you know, though? What if there is?
Until I know, I don't, I guess. But you know what? Because of that, I'm 100% sure there's no God.
How could you be 100% sure though? Because it's a claim we can't know.
Listen to my words. I'm 100% sure until evidence shows me otherwise. And I don't believe in supernatural shit. I don't believe in any of that kind of shit. I think this is how I think about the universe. Everything is fucking luck and coincidence, okay? And shit just plays out how shit plays out. And I don't think there's anything meta about it. I don't think there's any fucking magic. I don't believe in any of that stuff. If I can be shown, of course I'm gonna conform my beliefs to whatever the reality is showing.
I don't believe in any of it either. I don't believe in any of that stuff. Whether I don't believe in a God or in heaven or afterlife, but believing it is different than claiming to know. Now you're gutting into a different area because now you're claiming to know that there is.
This is a words game, you see, because I can claim to know that there is no God because until now it has not been proven, right? That doesn't mean I'm not open to information.
But wait a second.
Let's just drop this. We all know where we're at, okay? This is the position we're in. There's a lack of belief in a God until evidence proves otherwise. Okay, if you want to call that a Gnostic atheist, if you want whatever you want to call that, sure. I just say atheist. I don't think it needs to be, complicated any further. Let's not Neil deGrasse Tyson this shit up right now, okay?
Okay.
What else?
Yeah, it's the difference.
We were talking
between,
about.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the simplified difference is someone who claims to know versus like a knowledge claim versus just a lack of belief. Like we both have a lack of belief, but I'm claiming not to know and you're claiming to know. That's the real difference. That's why I call myself an agnostic atheist, whereas you're claiming to know. That's the only difference I can see.
I gotcha. On to the next round. What's the next question? Okay. Oh yeah, no, you were still telling me. So sorry, what age did you start to break free from this whole thing in your life?
I was like 9 years old.
9?
9 years old. I was at 9 years old, I was like crying myself asleep at night, terrified of death, thinking, oh my gosh, I could die and never wake up. And I would do all these weird things, like try to test God. And I would be like, I'd hold a dime in my hand and I'd be like, God, if you're real, like make this dime disappear. Because I wanted some kind of confirmation that he existed. And of course, none of that stuff worked. Like, and so that's why I was always like, oh crap, how do I know there's a God? And from there, it just spiraled out of control. And then I became more and more of an atheist as time went on. But somewhere in my like 20s, I guess early 20s, I was like, okay, gosh, I'm freaking an atheist. I don't believe anymore. And it's that simple. I think watching Christopher Hitchens and Dawkins and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just convinced me that like, oh crap, I can't believe in a God. It's just like
those
not
people
convinced.
changed my fucking life. Like, it's really crazy. It's crazy how like one person who like arranges their thoughts in such a way to make an idea compelling, or to help you see an idea from an angle that is digestible for you, can just fucking entirely just rip your world apart. It's the fucking best. I love it.
Yeah.
I really love that.
All those people, by the way, are agnostic atheists. Hitchens, Dawkins, they're all agnostic atheists. They don't claim to know that there's no God. So you're in a realm of your own there.
I honestly think everybody, I think they take the same line where we know until we are provided with more information.
No. They say they don't believe until they say they'd be open to information.
Sam Harris, listen to me. Sam Harris would never be like, I'm an agnostic atheist. He'd be like, I'm an atheist. He personally doesn't even like the fucking term. Like, no, I don't either. It's not lack of belief.
If he was asked the question, he would qualify it, and probably, if he's smart at all, I think he'd say he's an agnostic atheist.
Roen, even agnostics are like, it's just an atheist position. There's a lack of belief. Whether you know or claim not to know, it's still a lack of belief. So to add the extra labels to it is just like, so it's why?
Because it's important.
No, it's not.
It's someone making a knowledge claim versus someone saying they don't know. If anyone says,
listen though. Okay, I'm just gonna say this last time. We have to change topics. This is getting so boring. Atheist 1.0, Roen. But like, to this point, where we are in this context, it is absolutely legitimate to say, I know there is no God.
I don't see
Why?
that.
Because there has been no evidence to this point to prove otherwise. So that's that's not to say we're not open, but I mean,
but just because there's no evidence doesn't mean that doesn't mean you know. Just because there's a lack of proof for God or lack of evidence doesn't mean you know it, that there's no, right? Because there could be evidence that you don't know of the evidence, or you know what I mean? Just because there's no evidence doesn't mean you don't know, doesn't mean you know that there is or isn't.
Of course, that's the whole point of evidence, Roen.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's how we know things are.
But that's the whole point of just saying you're an agnostic.
Oh my God, we're arguing semantics, Roen.
Well, I think they're important semantics.
I certainly don't. I like to make communication as simple as possible, and I just feel like some of these terms just muddy the waters and make things way more difficult than they need to be. Like, why can't atheist just be lack of belief, which is exactly what it is? That's it.
Well, that is what an atheist is. No, that is completely the definition of an atheist.
Okay, cool. And that's where it should stay. And if someone says they're an atheist, you shouldn't have to ask them whether they claim to know or not know. It's not really that relevant when they've already, like, a smart person will be open to evidence. That's all I can say. Right?
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. A smart person will be open to evidence.
I'm still really interested to know what other things you do for fun. Like, what are your hobbies? Do you have any hobbies?
I watch movies. Actually, I don't even watch that many movies, to be honest. I talk to people. I make videos. Really, I spend a long time making videos. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, you edit? Editing takes a long time?
Editing takes a freaking long time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine, because Devin's very quick, right? He's obviously really good at what he does.
I don't know how he does it. He does it so freaking fast and so good.
He's been doing it for a while. He's practiced. I mean, like, have you ever watched a single Devin video and you're like, oh, this is so boring to look at? It is so far from boring to look at. Like, his videos are the only ones that I can actually sit and watch from front to back. And when I don't see shit, I go back to make sure I don't miss any of the little pictures or the clips, or because there's so many little things that are happening. It's fucking awesome. So nobody does that shit, you know?
Exactly. I don't
A
know
long
how it
time.
does.
You've seen the streams, right? Like just click, 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 click.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Working away. Yeah. How long does it take you to edit a video? And of course, it depends on time and stuff.
Some videos took me like freaking like days. I've spent like literally like a week on just one video, like editing it all day. Yeah, like I've made really big videos on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a documentary where I've included just like hundreds of different clips and just meticulous detail. And then the video gets like under 200 views. And I'm like, oh God. And it took me like 2 weeks to edit. That happens.
Yeah, it's hard.
I've done it.
Is that you? Is that your phone? Ding!
Oh, yeah.
It's
my mom.
Aw, cute. So, do you live a sedentary lifestyle then? Are you sitting a lot of the time?
When I'm on the computer editing, I do. But I try to get up and I try to jump on that trampoline to get my blood flowing, to get my lymphatic system going. But
like in between, you do that?
Yeah, I try to get up and do the jumping on the trampoline because it's the lymphatic system that's very important. And I try to go for a walk. I used to be a runner, believe it or not. When I was very young, when I was like 9 years old, I was into running. But then I got in a bicycle accident. I ruptured my spleen. It had to be removed. And then ever since then, I have not been a runner. I just lost the appeal or desire to run. It just like cleansed it from my system. I don't know why, but I was a runner.
Have you lifted weights? Have you tried lifting weights?
I have. I do like push-ups. Like I can't do very many, obviously. Devin exposed me.
Well, don't give up.
That.
Just don't give up. You got to keep doing them.
Yeah.
You know why? Because muscles, guess what muscles are conducive for? Long life.
Yeah, increases your metabolism.
Yeah, so if by the next time we talk, you're not lifting weights.
What about if I'm just doing more push-ups and I'm doing pull-ups? Aesthetics.
You got to throw some squats in there too. You got to have strong legs.
Calisthenics. Is that what it's called? Using your own body weight.
Yes, that is calisthenics. You can do some yoga too. That's
what I'm
into. Yeah, you got to add something.
Yeah, I do. I got to do more.
Because if you're fucking sitting in front of a computer and you're editing all the time, oh my God. Devin, if you're listening, this is for you too.
Well, he goes to the gym all the freaking time.
He's active as fuck, right? But you can tell. You have to stretch at least. You got to do some yoga and shit, man. Like
yeah. When you go jogging,
not take care of your body. You have to take care of your body. Your body. Take care of your body.
When you go jogging, do you have a dog or a pet you bring along and jog with?
No.
You're petless?
Yeah, I'm petless.
Have you been petless your whole life?
No, I used to have I had a Yorkie poodle for a bit, but she ran away because I was moving with this girl from Prince George, which is a town I moved up to go to university to, and my relationship ended, and I was moving down, and we decided to be roommates. I met her at Starbucks, and her mom was supposed to be watching Bella for the day while we were getting the moving trucks and stuff packed. And I told her that if you let her out for washroom, you have to make sure she has her leash on, or she'll probably try and get away from you. Sure enough, that's what happened. I never saw my Yorkie poodle again.
Yeah. I'm petless too.
Yeah?
Yep. No pets. When you did have a pet, here's an interesting question. I like to ask this question to everyone. When you had your poodle, at that point, do you think you would have saved the life of your poodle or the life of a random human being? Which would you have chosen? If that's a weird hypothetical, but if you had to choose.
My dog, obviously.
Over the life of a random human being?
Yeah, you know why? Because I have an emotional connection to that dog. That dog made me very happy. It's a fucking random human. Fuck them. I know I should be on team people, but no, sorry. Not for this one.
See, I'm on team people.
Yeah, so am I, though, but not in that situation. Then I'm on team family.
Wow. So what about the value of that? That could be anyone. That random person could be like the best person alive. It could be me.
I don't know them. I wouldn't know you, would I? If I knew you, then obviously I'd pick you over the dog. But if I didn't know you and you were just like, hey, random person or your dog? I want my dog.
Yeah. But you could just replace that dog. It's just a dog. But the
Yeah,
potential
but
the
there's
potential of a
billion
human
people
life.
on, come on, there's 8 billion people on the planet, Rowan. People are very replaceable, okay?
What do you think about
We do
Schindler?
it all the time. Schindler from World War II or the movie.
Are you a Jew lover like me and Devin?
Do you want to know how I stand on the JQ? Yes, I'm definitely for the Jews, my friend.
Heck yeah. So, well, Schindler, he saved like 1,200 Jews. Okay.
How does this always get to fucking the Jews? This is so weird, man. My whole life has become a whirlwind of British people and Israel. Like, why? I had a stream with this crazy hag swamp thing lady, and like her boyfriend legit asked me, "So Aimee, where do you stand on the JQ?" And I was like, what the fuck is the JQ? And he's like, the Jewish question. And I was like, long live Israel, motherfuckers! Woo! And they were like, oh yeah, you Devinite. I'm like, okay, whether Devin was or was not in the picture, I'm on the side of civilization. And guess who that is?
Heck yeah. I'm glad
Guess
you're a
who's
Jew
contributed more? Guess who's fucking really smart? Guess who has made the world a better place? Guess who has taken abuse forever? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on their side.
Heck yeah. And we were Jew lovers, but we're not all. We're not. It's like not all. We admit there's bad Jews, right? And there's
bad people.
Of course. So, but anyways, when I was talking about Schindler, he saved all those Jews, and there was a quote in the end of the movie Schindler's List that said, "He who saves a life saves the entire world," or he who saves one life saves the world entire. And it's that idea that really stuck with me. The idea of like a human life. It wasn't talking about an animal life. Like I've always thought humans are so much more important than animals. Like I've always made that the separation in my mind that like, wow, humans and then there's animals. Like I think we could we shouldn't be focusing so much on helping animals, and we should focus a lot more on helping human beings. That's just personally where I stand. But no, I would choose the random human being in a heartbeat.
Really?
What
if they fucking turned out to be a criminal? You think I'm gonna risk that over saving my dog? Come on now. Have you met humanity? I'm pretty sure 99.9% of people are fucking assholes and they can suck a dick, okay? So yeah, it's very rare to find very good people in life, Rowan, that are like really cool and honest and like aren't trying to prove some kind of fucking point. Like that's just really hard. And when you do find them, like appreciate that shit.
The person could be as good or as virtuous as me. You can't risk killing me to save your dog.
I think there's a higher chance that it would be an epic douche, okay? And like just I think I'm gonna base this with my bias because I've met way more shitty people than I have cool people. So that's probably why I'm a little more like, my dog made me really happy. What if this random person fucks with me? And like so if I save my dog, I'm 100% happy. If I save a random person, there's only a 50% chance that person will be cool. 100%, 50%. Which one's smarter? You know
what Devin said? He said he would kill all the animals to save my life.
Really?
Would you kill all the animals to save all my? Would you kill all the animals to save my life?
Yeah, I'd kill all the animals to save your life.
Thank you.
Would you kill all the animals to save my life?
Oh, heck yes, I would.
Really? Aww.
Absolutely. In a heartbeat, without even thinking about it, just kill all the animals to save Aimee, yes. Anyways, the library's going to freaking close like right now. We have to end this.
Okay, sure. Well, thanks for talking to me, Roen. We'll have to do it again. Did you have fun?
Yes. I had so much fun. This has been seriously one of the best interviews, one of the best conversations I've ever had.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
May you live forever.
May you live forever, Roen.
Thank you.
But you gotta have sex, okay?
Eventually. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, big loves.
Bye.
Bye. I'm just gonna kick you off, okay?
All right.
Bye. Oh man. Well, that was lots of fun. Roen is so lovely. I think that might be like in my top super fun conversations. What a great guy. I feel energized, you know? He was great to talk to you. Get bothered with some of the jokes that I made and the things that I said. So that's really cool because I was just being myself or whatever. Thanks everybody for coming. What's going on, guys? How is everybody doing? I know that I'm going to be delayed in my asking. And I know everybody's going to start answering. Well, I hope everybody starts answering soon. I hope you guys are having a great fucking evening. I love you, Alfie. You're wonderful. I really love you people for coming and supporting me and just hanging out. That's all I want. I just want you to hang out. I just really like hanging out. And I'm very social. And I think I'm finally feeling satiated in that area because I just like, I have so much energy, you know? Like, I could just fucking sit here and talk forever. And it's like, I don't know how my brain just keeps fucking producing shit. Like, holy crap, stop. And now I have people to talk to, and it's like, woo! Hey, Andy, what's up? Hey, Will. Mr. Exponent. I saw Devin earlier. It's always nice to see Devin here. I hope his knee is okay. Hi, Ani. I'm honestly just too lazy to like end the stream right now, and I'm fidgeting like Spencer and playing with a pen, which I actually broke while I was on this fucking thing. Fuck. And now it sucks because when I put it on the table, it just rolls. It doesn't even fucking stay there, and that's really fucking annoying. So I have to put it in the cup. But I really like having access to pens right here because, you know what? I have this book, right? I have this book, and like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just have all these ideas, and I just write all that shit down in here. Like there's so many things I've written in here about what I want to talk about and like weird time things, and sometimes it's so hard to be organized, and I really kick myself in the ass for it because it's important to be organized, but sometimes I just don't go, fuck. Anyways, I should stop talking. Thanks for coming, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Devin is a great judge of character, and that guy is like the sweetest person. And I'm glad I got to talk to him. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. I am going to stuff my face because I'm so hungry right now. My tummy wants food. Everybody have a good night. Okay? I love you all. Mwah! Big